Now for the fourth question, which is, what if you need to make a change or an omission to a quotation? How do you do that? So you probably remember from research and writing that you change a quotation by using brackets, and the rules there from the Red Book 1.41 and 4.3, you can go and look at those for a little more information. And then of course an ellipsis shows an omission. So first of all, brackets to show change. If you look at the sentence here, on the left is in the original, and I'm going to show you where I got this from in just a minute. But the mere trust in another's competence, that's the original. And then further is what the writer added, but they're merging, so they need a lowercase letter to begin the quoted sentence. Because again, they're merging, so you need a lowercase letter. So whenever you see brackets around a letter like that, that means it used to be the opposite of what it is now. Instead of a lowercase m, it used to be an uppercase m. Now let me show you where I got this sentence from. I wrote it here in this brief that I've been working on, the one about fiduciary duty. And here's my sentence: mere trust in another's competence, and so on. I got from the Cook case. So let me show you the Cook case here. Here's where I got it: mere trust in another's competence and integrity does not suffice. Now note, it's bracketed in this original here. So let's go look at this standard chartered and see what it was in the original. So here it is here: mere trust in another's competence or integrity does not suffice. So note, there's no quotation marks around that. This is the original then. So the Cook court took this capital M and made it a lowercase m to merge it into its own sentence. So I'm going to go back to the Cook case here just so you can see it again. So the Cook case came after this cited standard, so they added the word further and then merged in this quote. Well, when you merge, you can't have a capital letter hanging out in the middle of your sentence. So anyway, as you read modern cases, don't look at the old ones for this, but modern cases, you'll see examples of this everywhere. See down here, here's some more brackets. So they used brackets to show this change here. But anyway, you'll see the use of brackets everywhere. Now for showing an omission in a quotation, you can see here in the first example is the traditional use of an ellipsis. It's 3 dots with spaces on all sides of the dots. And then the second example here is when you omit something from the end of a sentence. You have the ellipsis first, the 3 dots with spaces, and then the 4th dot is actually the period. So then how would you show, let's say a paragraph continues on, how would you show you omitted a paragraph? In other words, would you put the period and then the ellipsis? Or would you do the ellipsis and then the period? And the answer is that you'd put the period first and then the ellipsis to show that you cut off sentences. Okay, hopefully that's just a review from research and writing. And then the third sentence I have here is just to highlight that whenever you have a sentence fragment like slight doubt, scintilla of evidence, those are fragments. You don't use ellipses anywhere with those, okay? So let me give you another quick example of omitting material. Again, I'm working on that fiduciary duty brief, and I want to quote this highlighted material. So I would take the whole thing, at least most of it here, copy it with reference, and paste it into my document. Now all I really want is this bit here. I'll add a lead in, and I don't need any of this stuff here, this exception. I don't need that. So note, I need an ellipsis right before this. So I'm going to cut it out and replace it with 3 dots. Okay, so I have a space, and then a dot, then a space and a dot, and so forth. So I have the 3 dots. And then guess what goes on the end? A period, and then the quotation mark there. Now I'll clean it up, like you don't include these things here, you know, the page numbers. 10K, I can get rid of that. You know, for this, I could change it to control the property. They don't need to know it's called 10K or whatever. Okay, so the key here is that I have the 3 dots for the ellipsis and then the period on the end. Now, this is how it looks in what I actually wrote right here. The developer, this is what I added. The developer operating as Phoenix Holdings LLC, and then merge. So I need the lowercase letter, which it was in the original, so I don't need brackets for that. Was hired as, and so forth. And then I have the ellipsis and the period, and then of course the citation. Okay, so that does it for changing or omitting material in a quotation. And then all we have left to do is talk about quoting within a quote. I'll see you there.